Welcome to the channel. In this video, we're diving into the most chilling stories circulating across the internet, and I hope you like it. I searched on Reddit and found the scariest stories about people who experience strange things right at their doorsteps. Hurry up and lock yours before starting the video. A deleted user asked, Redditors who have a Ring doorbell, what's the creepiest thing you have caught on it? And here are the answers. The toddler. At 5-ish in the morning, sun was just starting to come up and it's the middle of winter. My husband, half asleep, answers the doorbell on his phone in bed next to me. It's a toddler wearing nothing but a PJ top and underwear. Husband says, hello? Toddler says, can, my son's name, come out to play? Husband, still half asleep, says, not right now, maybe later. About 3 minutes later, husband suddenly sits up as the reality of the situation dawns on him, and he rushes out of the house to track down a wandering toddler walking barefoot in the streets in freezing weather. Turns out my son's toddler friend from daycare, who's been to our house once for a play date, just walked straight out his front door undetected and memorized the route to our house. For me, it was the possibility of his little journey ending very differently than it did in a number of terrifying scenarios that still haunts me. The motionless child. Last week, my wife and I checked a notification that there was movement at the front door, but we checked it about an hour after it happened. There was what appeared to be a small child on our porch in a winter coat and standing motionless. With the way they were standing, we couldn't see their face. They stood like this for minutes, not moving, then just left. So creepy. My wife had recently put out a Christmas decoration that was a holiday dinosaur, so we figured the kid was just looking at that. We moved into this house just a couple of months ago, so we don't know the kid. I'm on the lookout in case we're in a horror movie. The ambient sleepwalking. 2 a.m. The dogs are going nuts. It is usually a cat, but they are not calming down. Sleepy and just awakened, it finally occurs to me to check the doorbell camera. There is a guy just hanging out on the front porch. He alternately sits on a windowsill or stands and leans against the wall. He gives the vibe that he is waiting in a way too long line, but does not try to ring the doorbell or knock. We call the police non-emergency line. He is not acting threatening in the slightest, just weird. Police pull up and talk to him. My best guess is that this was some sort of ambient sleepwalking or one of those cases where a UTI causes hallucinations. He does not have any idea that it is the middle of the night and thinks he is working and has to wait for the slacker in front of him to finish their job before he can get started. The 2 cops. I have a camera doorbell, not a Ring. The creepiest thing I ever saw was the night I had 2 cops come to my door. They stood outside the door talking to each other about if I was home or not and who would rape me first. I was at home at the time. My dog alerted me by whining at the door, and I checked the DB cam. I listened to them talking for about 10 seconds before I called 911. The operator told me they didn't have cops in my area and to stay away from the door, put at least one more locked door between me and them, and to stay on the line and quiet until the real cops could get there. I live around the block from the fire department, so it was less than 2 minutes later when a fire truck pulled up and the 2 fake cops ran off. Sleepwalker brother. My little brother is a sleepwalker. This one time he snuck out of the house while still asleep. My sister said she heard someone talking just outside the door, went to look and saw my brother sat on the porch couch, apparently having a conversation with my grandpa. She says he was telling my grandpa, I love you, and I'm going to miss you. My dad got him back inside the house without waking him up, and nobody gave much thought into what just had happened until a couple hours later when my uncle called telling us my grandpa had passed away while asleep. My little brother says he doesn't remember anything, but we got it on video. We can't hear what he's saying too clearly, but he was definitely talking to someone, and he sure as heck said, I'm going to miss you, at least twice. Like a spider. Have a security camera pointed at the back of the house toward my detached back garage. The weirdest thing that still fucks with me was late night on the 4th of July. The noise of neighborhood fireworks kept the regular animals away, but my camera did pick up an individual hanging around the back of the house and neighbor's back lawn. Definitely was a person, but they were walking on all fours like a goddamn spider. Not once did they go back to walking on their legs. They were gangly looking, lean and not pudgy. also wearing a dark shirt and pants. Their face was always kept down. This creeper was crawling all around the back and into the neighbors' lawns on all fours for like 10 minutes before they fucked off and left the area picked up by the security camera. The next morning, a pile of human-sized shit plus a copious amount of vomit was found in the middle of my driveway at the back of the house. Creepy contractor. Was working on and moving into a back house apartment that wasn't quite ready yet. The creepy fall-down drunk contractor, who I had to let go from working on it, pulled up at 5 a.m. and parked, but didn't get out of his van for several minutes. When he did finally get out, he was putting himself back into his pants and zipping up. Then he went through the gate and into the private patio, where the camera couldn't see him anymore, and was gone for 5 to 10 more minutes. After that 5 to 10 minutes, he reappeared back at his car without having retraced his steps back through the gate. I think he was looking all around to see if I had moved in yet. I'm a youngish single woman, and trying to catch me before I woke up if so. After that, I think he just walked through the private yard of the front house to get out. He cryptically texted me later that he noticed someone moved into the front house, and I freaked out because that someone is a single mom with 2 young kids. He came back a couple more times, but the cops were always too slow. But it's been a while since the last visit, so I think he's done now. Or dead. Who knows?